All right, guys, Mike from The Credit Game. Hey, take a second, please, before I start this video, because I'm about to drop some serious bombs on you guys and help you out tremendously in this video. Remember, every video that I do is usually because our team out there is asking, hey, like they're hearing all these things from our students. What do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do here? So what we do is we create videos based on real live situations that I can actually help you with, as opposed to just making up topics that are trending. So if you would take a second, if it's your first time on the channel, every single day, Monday through Friday and Saturday, I'm doing 1 to 2 videos every day. I'm the only channel that does it this much. I want you to immerse yourself in credit, understand how it works, know it's so good that literally it doesn't take a second thought when you have to make a move when it comes to credit, whether it's getting a house, a car, a credit card, whatever. You know the tips, tricks, and strategies because you're listening to me every single day. So take a tip. Both sides, there's either one of the sides, there's a subscribe button. If it's your first time, please hit that. For everybody else, if you would take a second and make sure that you turn on your bell notification. Now, why I say turn on your bell is because I'm doing the videos multiple times a day so you guys can learn. I'm also doing it so that way, you know, the more that you immerse yourself with videos and listening, the better credit score you're gonna have. So if you turn on your bell, you're gonna get a notification every time I do a video, and thus you're gonna get better at the credit game. Turn on your bell, select the word all, right? It's a little bell, you'll see it in the top right corner, select it, select all. And if this video, you can find value in it, which I'm sure you will, do me a favor and click the thumbs up button, right? That helps the algorithm. That's why we were able to grow the fastest credit channel in national history, because of you guys being able to help out and make that a possibility. So we're gonna talk about a few things. First, I want to give you a couple numbers, all right? The number 180 is going to represent something very powerful. The number 85 is also going to represent something very powerful. So what do these numbers represent? So today's topic that we're going to talk about is how to remove late payments from your credit report and how important it is not to have those, but also what it's going to do if you get them removed, or better yet, if you never get it at all, how much points you're actually saving. So the number one thing on our credit report is called our payment history, okay? Which calculates to be 35% of your credit score. So the number 180 represents this. Let's say that you're at a 780 credit score, right? Which is considered to be perfect, because anything over a 780 is just bragging rights between me and you and friends. If I'm like, I'm at an 827, you're like, I'm at a 781. Neither one of us get us better interest rate, lower down payments. It's called A1 credit. So once you get to that 780 mark, I don't care if you have an 849, it makes no difference. Okay, but if you get a late payment on your credit and you are a 780 or higher, that 180 points represents what you will get removed from your credit points, okay? So literally, 180 minus 780 leaves you with a 600 credit score. One missed brand new late payment. You worked your tail off to get to a 781 and you made a mistake, forgot to make your payment. And I'll talk to you about what a late payment is here. A mistake happened. One late payment can bring you down to a 600 credit score. On top of that, you're gonna have that late payment for the next 7 years. So the reason I say 781 all the way to 85 is because let's say you have a 30, 60, 90 late payment, but that 90 days was about a year ago. You can expect somewhere around an 85 point decrease from your credit score of where it should be. Okay, so let's say, for example, you would have a 700, but last year you got a 30, 60, 90. The way it works is 30 days, right? It's 31 days after your due date. So your due date's on the 15th of the month, right? Just because you paid on the 20th doesn't mean it's going to report to the credit bureau as late. You're going to have a late penalty from the credit card, right? Or the car, whatever. They're going to charge you a late payment, but it's not going to hit the credit bureaus until 31 days after due date. So let's say your payment was due on the 15th of February, and you don't make your payment until the 16th of March. Then they're going to report that 30-day late. Anything in between there, the 30 days, they give you a buffer. It doesn't report till day 31. So But let's hypothetically say that last year in 2020, you got a late payment. 30 days, it went 60, then it went 90, right? 3 consecutive months in a row that you didn't make the payment. Okay, and that happened last year. Now we're in 2021, right? So we're like, boom, we're a year later. So what's going to happen is this. You are looking at it somewhere around 85 points off your credit score. So where you should be a 700, hypothetically, you would really be at a 615. So you'd be at a 615. If you get those removed, you go up to 700. That's why it's so important, because this is the biggest factor of your credit score to be able to not have late payments. It's your payment history. It's 35%. It's literally more than a third of your whole score is how you're making your payments. And that's why one late payment can crush you. I surveyed over 50 people. I put it inside the credit game for you guys. Over 50 people with an 800 credit score to say, hey, what is the number one thing that you're doing? I want to learn from the best. I want to say, look, today I'm an 829, right? I'm one of the 50 people. And I'm going to tell you something. I calculated what those 50 people said. I said, hey, what is it the one thing that you're doing that has kept you at an 800 credit score? And the one thing most people don't want to do, but it's the most valuable. And 23 people out of the 50, what was the highest amount? 23 people out of the 50 said, I selected auto deduct on my credit cards, my vehicle, and my home. And a lot of people don't want to do this, but mark my words, and let me tell you something. If I surveyed 50 people with over 800 credit score, and the number one thing was that they took their credit cards and they decided, instead of trying to figure out with all their credit card payments, to figure out when the due dates were, right, and to try to figure out how to make payments, they selected to have it coming out of their checking account on the due date so they never missed a payment. Now, let me tell you something. There's a lot of reasons why people won't want to do this. One, because you don't have the money in your checking account, so you're worried about overdrafting, right? So if that is you, make sure that your savings has an overdraft protection, so that way if it pulls from the checking and it's not there, that it will pull from a savings account, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is have it pull from a checking that's not there, and then you don't find out because the savings doesn't have the overdraft, and therefore you do the same thing. Not only do you have a $35 fee, but you also have a late payment. So make sure, if you guys are financially stable, to put your credit cards, your car, your house, anything you have, and have it set up. All you gotta do is call the credit card company and say, hey, I wanna set it up on auto. Okay, cool, what's your checking account number? You give them the checking account number, they're gonna set it up, and it will come out automatically. This is the number one thing for 800 people. So when I surveyed a bunch of millionaires also, I said, what is the one thing that you guys do? What is the one thing that a millionaire does? Well, they read, right? The average person reads less than one book a year. The average millionaire reads more than one book a week. So you would think that, okay, if I'm educating myself with books, that would be the one thing that I would want to do. Well, I did the same thing with the 800 credit score people. I said, what do you, and they said auto deduct. So make sure you guys are taking what I'm saying and just implement it, right? So today we're talking about points. I just told you how many points can be removed from your credit if you fail to make a late payment. But how do we remove the late payments? Because look, good people can get into bad situations. Would we all agree that a good person could go through something? I want you guys to put below the one word I'm looking for that every single person in this entire planet just went through and is still going through to some level. 5-letter word, put it in comments. Every single person in this entire planet, not just the United States, the entire planet, is going through or has just went through this type of worldwide situation. 5-letter word, put it in the comments below for me. There is no magic secret to removing late payments from your credit report. It's not this, bing, bang, boom, and all at once it's this magic pill and it just disappears. There's two things that can happen. Okay, first you have to understand 1970, the FCRA is what protects the consumer. Okay, us as consumers are protected by the FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act. It is an act that was put into place to protect us from the creditors and the credit bureaus. Okay, it's also protected, credit cards. It is a protection bureau that says, hey, we're not going to let these companies screw the public. So that was put into place, okay, to protect us. As a consumer, you are a consumer. You have the legal right to challenge anything that you feel on your credit report is not supposed to be there. That would include incorrect, something that's obsolete, you believe it's unfair, it's an erroneous information on there, right? So all that information, and maybe it's unduly, but whatever reason you feel that you're looking at your credit report and knowing that 77% of credit reports have some type of error on there, that would make you think that 3 out of 4 people have something negative on their credit report, that it was not their fault. Now, when you know that 77% of people that have negative, and you know now how to indicate and find the inaccuracies on your credit report, this makes removing late payments much easier because you know what to look for. Do I look for the credit limits to be incorrect? Is there something missing between the 3 credit bureaus when I'm looking at my credit report, right? Are the dates incorrect or when it was reported? The open date incorrect? Is it still open after 7 years? Were you a victim of identity theft? Did someone steal your information? Was it someone in your family that had this credit card and it's supposed to be on theirs and not yours, right? These are called inaccuracies on your credit report. And if you know what you're looking for, you can get rid of these late payments. So let me tell you 2 ways to get rid of late payments actually off your credit report, and there's no magic here, okay? Number one, the reason why I asked you about what was going on in the world right now was this. Every single human being listening to my voice has went through this situation. And what I want you to do is understand that the creditor, the person who put the late payment on your credit, whether that is credit card company, whether it was a vehicle, your mortgage company, they have a software. Okay, it is called eOscar. That is the transmission between creditor and credit bureau. So the creditor says, hey, John Smith was late. Okay, he's at 31 days late. Well, we don't want people to take advantage. So what we're going to do is we're going to send this information. Okay, it's through a data furniture to a system called eOscar. eOscar is going to take that late payment and send it to the credit bureaus to electronically put a late payment on the bureaus that they report to. Okay, so it's not like the creditor, like Navy Federal goes, hey, Equifax, John Smith just got a late payment. Can you mark it down? It's all done electronically. Okay, so boom, eOscar system reports the data. Now, what you have to know is they also have the software, right? Because I don't want to hear bullshit, right? Well, I got a lot of people calling me saying, hey, I reached out to the creditor to remove this late payment off my credit, and they told me I had to reach out to credit bureaus. That is false. If they have the data to add a late payment on your credit, they also have the data to remove a late payment from your credit. Okay, so I don't want to hear BS. You need to say, look, you are the data furnisher of this. You just contacted the credit bureaus to say, hey, put this late payment on. You also have the capability, right? They're lazy. That's the thing. They don't want to do it. They brush it off on the credit bureaus. You got to contact the credit bureaus. No. But remember what I told you guys before. Everybody just went through this, and that's why I'm asking you to put that 5-letter word in there. Everybody went through this. And what you are dealing with is humans. And when you can deal with a human who went through a situation, a pandemic, a life crisis, people lost their job, 43 million small businesses went out of work, 17 million people sent home without an opportunity to even make another dollar because they had to be laid off. Okay? And countless people who didn't know where their next move was going to come from and how they were going to get finances. When you know that, you also know that people are human and they have a heart. So I'm going to ask you to do this. There's 2 ways to remove late payments. One, you can contact the creditor, not the credit bureaus. Okay? And you can use, first of all, just use your behavior. That's why I say collect more bees with honey when I tell you guys that. You would contact the creditor and say, and I'm telling you, this is where the sympathy comes out. I just went through a very tough time. I was laid off. I lost my job. Haven't been able to find any work. I know that I got a late payment on my Navy Federal credit card. I'm asking that you guys would please remove the late payment from my credit report as I'm going through a tough time with myself and my family. and I wasn't able to make the payment. I do apologize. It'll never happen again. I love your credit card. I love the opportunity to be part of this Navy Federal Rewards card, but I made a mistake. And I'm asking you for forgiveness. If you could please, this is holding me back from getting my home, renovating my house, whatever, XXX. Your chances of doing this, getting it removed, are very, very high. Now, what I also want you to do is I want you to follow that up with a letter known as a hardship letter, okay? So a hardship letter that you can find inside my credit game, okay? You guys get any of my programs, I have the hardship letter in there. But you have to know this. If you try to Google this letter, okay, what happens is this. Your letter that you are going to mail out to the creditor, not the credit bureaus. This letter called the hardship letter goes right to the creditor, the person who added the late payment on your credit report, the one who sent it to the credit bureaus. You need to send them a hardship letter. But first you have to understand that when you send that letter, your letter is converted into a 2-digit number from 26 to 89. The letters that I have inside the credit game are proprietary letters that give you the highest number. The 26 letters, most people aren't reading. They're cookie cutter letters, okay? The 89s are getting attention. The higher the number, the more attention the letter's gonna get, and telling you something, the more likely the late payment will come off. This letter is designed for people like you, like me, and everybody else in the world just went through a very hard time, and it is specifically indicated in there about this hardship that I'm talking about. We have had members and our students get countless removals of late payments off their credit bureaus because of these letters. These are not letters that you can find anywhere, okay? So that is one way that you can get a late payment off your credit report, okay? The second way is part of my program. In order to get in the credit game, I am going to pay for you to have elite credit repair done. Now, because it is software and it is not done by letters, it is done much faster. It is done electronically. It's done what we call 2021 versus 2010. Okay, everything was done by letters. Now there's actual software. The thing about a professional that I can't do, camera guy ain't doing, credit repair company ain't doing, is we don't have the software to be able to go in, okay? It's a $400,000 software. I mean, you could get it, and I could get it if I wanted it, but I don't want it. To go in to be able to essentially put in codes and know, they know, what exactly inaccurate, obsolete, unfair, erroneous, incorrect information to look for, to not only get the information corrected on your credit report. You don't want it corrected, because then if they go in and just correct the information, you still have a late payment or you still have a collection. But actually challenge the validity of the account so it comes off completely instead of just being corrected. So that's what you want. You want the account. Now, if you're using the account and you have a lot of, if it's a negative account not supposed to be there, okay, maybe you were a victim. Maybe you hey, nobody can tell me that this is my account. Only I know right here whether it's my account or not. So what the software can do, and the person behind the software is, can go and challenge the information and say, hey, my client believes that this is an inaccurate information and it's not supposed to be on the credit report. And whatever code they type in, if it is something that's not supposed to be on the credit report, it is eliminated. Now what that means is the entire account will come off. So if it is something you're using, and I only mean credit cards, I'm not talking about a vehicle or home. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a credit card. What you don't want to go in and challenge the validity of account and say, hey, I don't believe it's mine, because then what's going to happen is the credit card can actually be shut down. They're not going to come take your car, and they're not going to come take your house. But they can shut a credit card down, okay, if you're challenging the validity of the account. So what they will do is actually go in and challenge it on that end. There's two ways, guys. This is not something that's like a super secret. You can either do it the letter ways, okay? and have a hardship done by making the phone call and sending the letter, certified mail, okay? Or two, you can have the professionals do it. There's it. You do it yourself or professionals do it. There's no such thing as just eliminating it by just, I believe it's going to be removed. I believe it's going to be removed. Weeds go away. Weeds go away. Weeds go, and all once the weeds are gone. It doesn't work that way. There's action that has to take place. And again, it can be done by my vendor who has the software, or you get in the credit game and you get the highest number letter, the proprietary letter that will help you get it removed the fastest with watching this video and making the phone call first, then following it up. Now, here's the kicker. If you're going to go the option of sending the letter, okay, you get in the credit game, you're like, I want to do it myself. Just make sure that when you call the creditor, that you get them to send you something in email or in mail saying that they agree to what you're telling them. So if you got someone on there and your sympathy is like, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize, this will never happen again. I just hardship, this, that, boom, boom. Not going to say the word, you're going to put in the comments. Lost my job, don't know where I'm going. Would you please send me an email or mail me out a letter to this address XXX stating that per our conversation, you will remove this late payment to help me out. The reason you want to get that is because the last thing you want to do is have them tell you over the phone and then it doesn't get removed. When you have the letter or you have the email, now if it doesn't get removed, then you can go to the credit bureaus and legally the creditor said they were going to remove it because it's in writing, and now you can go to the credit bureaus and actually have it removed ASAP because you have it followed up by something, documentation coming from the creditor itself. So you always want to make sure that you have the letter or email and make sure you get that while you're on the phone. So, okay? But I also want you to follow it up with that certified mail straight to the creditor called the hardship letter. This is a double impact. It's the phone call, and then the next day the letter's going out, following up the phone call. Okay? This is it. No simple trick, guys. I mean, this is not like rocket science. This is what you need to do to remove late payments. And let me tell you something. If you have late payments on your credit report, your score is impacted tremendously. Just know that it's going to be there for the next 6 years if it doesn't come off. Sorry, it's going to be there for 7 years. I wanted to add an extra. I wanted to make you feel good for a second. 7 years. 7 years, guys. You try to buy a house, try to get a car, try to get a credit card with a fresh, brand new late payment, which is the biggest impact to your credit score, A, but number two, how does that look to a lender? I don't care if it's a car lender, a mortgage company, or a credit card. How does it look to have a brand new spanking late payment on your credit report? Good luck trying to get credit cards. Good luck trying to buy a house with a brand new late payment on there. They're just not doing it, guys. Lenders are looking to make sure that you are responsible. The good news is this, there is hope. There is hope for you to be able to get things you want in your life. But you can't have late payments on there. You can't have collections on there. So if you're somebody that has late payments, collections, and you're like, look, Mike, I want the credit game because I want the proprietary letters and everything else that's in there on top of it. You think this is good, you should see the stuff I have on Tradelines and inquiries. I want that, but I also told you this. As part of this, what I'm doing for you guys today is I'm also including the vendor to do the work for you, okay? So that's like my gift back to someone because I was fortunate enough to be able to put the credit game together for me, and I didn't have elite credit repair. I went from a 515 to an 829 credit score today. And I never went through the elite credit repair because it wasn't available then. Today, new age, you have so many opportunities to have great credit. Instead of having bad credit, you have an opportunity. And it's not like a pipe dream for you guys to be able to have a house. It is like people come to me and they say, I might want to buy a house. I would love to start, my real estate company. I would love to, get a home. I want these things. But you believe it's not possible because you've lived with bad credit your whole life. I'm here to tell you this. It is extremely possible, but you have to take action. Nobody is going to take action but you. I can't make you do something. Only thing I can do is I can give you the facts, I can give you the benefits, I can give you the motivation. But I'm not going to be the one who's going into your credit report for you. And I'm not going to be the one who calls 904 420-7772. I can't call for you. You have to call to get your credit fixed. That's it. That's the only way it's going to happen. Or, as the legal right of yourself, you can certainly do all this yourself. Just understand, as a consumer, when you have the legal right to do anything you want, just understand that the time is what you're going to be wasting. Professionals can do it in 1/10 of the time. So again, you could do it, but if you want to get a car, a house, credit cards, or things that you want to do so you can be an adult, people can look up to you and go, you know, man, this dude's awesome, man. He's got a 750. Like, people can't look up to you at a 500. I mean, you walk around and you got a wife, you got a husband, you got family, kids. People have to look up to you. And I believe as an adult, it's your responsibility, obligation, duty to have a high credit score, to have your finances in order so people can look up to you, so you can be a hero. In order to do that, you got to take action. So I'm asking you this. If you want the help, I will help you. If you don't want the help, don't call me. Continue to live with bad credit. Watch the videos. I had people that call me, like, watch the videos for a year. Mike, I watched your videos for a whole year. I'm ready to make a move. I said, a year? You've been waiting what took you a year after watching my videos to call? Man, I thought I could do it myself. Look, I put valuable content out on these videos, right? And I want you to be able to do some of it. But there's a certain level of, you can't do everything, right? Like, people do videos on, you know, how to put a roof on and how to fix your engine in your vehicle when it breaks down. But at some level, you're going to bring it to a mechanic. At some level, you're going to hire a roofer, right? Because you can't do everything yourself. That's why there's professionals in that. That's why they have software. That's why they know what to put. So if you want to fix your credit, I'm including the Elite Credit Repair for you. That's my gift today for the people that call in as our Valentine's Day special that I've extended because we weren't open yesterday. You guys, all the programs, I'm going to leave you with this. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, couple, I don't care what you are. You guys are getting half off today. I'm going to leave you with this. If there's no better time than right now to do it, the next deal that I'm doing is Black Friday, where it'll be that's low as it is right now. So right after this video, if you want the help, let me help you change your life. You'll get the Elite Credit Repair. I'm including that for you in any of my programs. And you're going to get all the proprietary information I showed you in the credit game, which has helped me raise my credit score 375 points. 904-420-7772. This is how you remove late payments and how the score dramatically decreases and increases when those come back on. I'll talk to you guys in a few minutes. 904-420-7772. Call me now. First couple people are getting this included in it. I'll talk to you in a minute. My name is Mike from the Credit Game. Let's roll.